The movie begins with Thaddeus Ross, now the President of the United States, addressing a crowd, vowing to stand against unprecedented threats together. News reports highlight his history of anger issues as a general, his controversial role in the Hulk and Abomination's destructive battle in Harlem, and his strained relationship with his daughter, Betty Ross. 5 months later, Captain America Sam Wilson is in Oaxaca, Mexico, working under Ross's orders alongside Falcon, Joaquin Torres. Their mission is to track down a mercenary group called the Serpent Society, led by Sidewinder. Cap locates them in a church and engages in combat, using his wings and shield to take down the mercenaries. As he fights his way through, Sidewinder attempts to take hostages. Cap saves them but gets momentarily held up by a larger opponent, allowing Sidewinder to escape. Meanwhile, Joaquin dons his Falcon suit and pursues other mercenaries, managing to intercept a package the Serpent Society intended to sell to a mysterious buyer. As Cap defeats the last mercenary, Joaquin successfully secures the package. After reporting their successful mission to Ross, Sam and Joaquin return to Baltimore to train with Isaiah Bradley. During their session, Joaquin witnesses Isaiah's incredible strength, as he is one of the few individuals injected with the super soldier serum. Later, Sam receives a call from Ross, inviting him to an event at the White House and asking him to bring Joaquin and Isaiah along. Isaiah is skeptical, expressing doubts about Sam working for President Ross and the government that once wronged both of them. However, Sam tries to reassure him that things are changing for the better. The trio arrives at the event, where Sam is called for a private meeting with Ross. Ross proposes restarting the Avengers, offering Sam the role of their new leader. Sam is hesitant, especially considering Ross's past handling of the Sokovia Accords, but Ross insists that by working together, they can do things differently this time. During the event, Ross addresses the guests about mining operations on Celestial Island, the small portion of Tiamat that emerged from the Indian Ocean in Eternals, where a rare metal, adamantium, has been discovered. He explains that negotiations are underway to establish trade and distribution agreements with other nations. Suddenly, the song Mr. Blue begins playing, and Isaiah, along with 4 other men, is suddenly mind-controlled, forcing them to attempt an assassination on Ross. Ruth Bat-Seraph, Ross's security advisor and a former Black Widow, swiftly takes down the other attackers while Sam tries to stop Isaiah. The chase leads them to a nearby park, where Isaiah finally snaps out of the mind control. Terrified of being imprisoned again, he hesitates, but Sam convinces him to surrender peacefully. Sam confronts Ross in his bunker, with only Ruth present in the room. While Ross and Ruth suspect that Isaiah was involved in a coordinated attack with the other assailants, Sam insists that he was being controlled and deserves to have his name cleared. However, Ross believes Sam is too personally invested in the case to be objective and reminds him that he is not Steve Rogers. Determined to help Isaiah, Sam visits him in his cell to find a way to uncover the truth. But Isaiah, feeling hopeless, tells Sam not to come back, convinced that he will die in prison and that fighting for his freedom is a lost cause. Sam turns to Joaquin for help in piecing together what happened. Joaquin reviews surveillance footage and discovers that Isaiah and the other attackers had a blinking signal appear on their phones just before the assassination attempt. Before Sam can act on this information, he is ambushed by Sidewinder, who has been hired to kill him. Sidewinder attempts to blow up Sam's car, but Sam escapes just in time. They engage in a brutal fight, with Sidewinder using both a gun and a knife, but Sam gains the upper hand, knocks him out, and leaves him to be arrested. Later, Sam contacts the person who hired Sidewinder. Instead of being discouraged, the mysterious employer congratulates him on his victory, but ominously warns that he won't like what's coming next. Meanwhile, Ross faces pressure from other world leaders who were caught in the crossfire of the attack. Their confidence in his leadership is wavering, putting the crucial treaty negotiations at risk. Sam takes Sidewinder's phone to Joaquin, who traces the source of the employer's call. The signal leads them to a hidden facility in Virginia, known as Camp Echo 1. As they make their way there, Ruth witnesses a chilling event. One of the prison guards, seemingly brainwashed, executes all of the imprisoned shooters except for Isaiah. As Mr. Blue plays in the background, the guard then turns the gun on himself and takes his own life. Meanwhile, the mysterious villain contacts Ross, warning him that a major shift in power is coming soon. Upon arriving at Camp Echo 1, Sam and Joaquin deploy Sam's drone, Redwing, to infiltrate the facility. Inside, they discover a lab filled with genetic data on multiple individuals, including Isaiah and the other attackers. Soon, they come face to face with the mastermind behind it all, Samuel Stearns, also known as the Leader. Stearns reveals his plan for revenge against Ross. When Sam attempts to fight back, Stearns momentarily incapacitates him with a powerful shockwave machine before leaving them to be dealt with by his hired mercenaries. Sam and Joaquin take down the first wave of mercs, but before they can catch their breath, another group arrives. Just in time, Ruth joins the fight, swiftly defeating the new attackers and aligning with Sam and Joaquin. As they attempt to escape, law enforcement officers arrive, seemingly to arrest them, but once again, Mr. Blue begins playing, triggering the officers to attack Sam and Joaquin instead. Thinking fast, Sam uses his shield to knock them unconscious. With no other option, he, Joaquin, and Ruth steal the officer's van and make their getaway. Ross meets with Japanese Prime Minister Ozaki, who expresses his diminishing confidence in Ross's leadership. As Ross continues to face mounting pressure from other world leaders, the strain begins to take a toll. His Secret Service agent, Leila Taylor, tries to keep him composed. Meanwhile, Sam meets with his military contact, Dennis Dunphy, to analyze some pills he found in Stearns' lab. He then visits Sidewinder, arranging for his temporary release to gather information on Stearns. Sidewinder reveals that after Stearns was exposed to Bruce Banner's blood, his intellect expanded exponentially. However, Ross exploited him as a personal think tank, increasing his gamma exposure to further enhance his abilities, leading to the physical mutation in Stearns' head. The Serpent Society had been hired to sabotage the treaty and push the world toward war, ultimately tarnishing Ross's legacy. Before Sam leaves, Sidewinder cryptically warns that he will eventually escape. Dunphy later informs Sam, Joaquin, and Ruth that both Ross and Ozaki have sent warships to claim Celestial Island. Realizing the implications, Sam confronts Ross about his connection to Stearns. Their discussion turns into a heated argument, during which Ross makes a shocking admission: he is dying of heart failure. Desperate to survive, he had Stearns develop gamma-infused pills that seeped into his bloodstream. Ross kept Stearns imprisoned because he feared that without him, the production of the pills would stop. Stearns kills an admiral and gains access to the Mr. Blue signal, triggering chaos as 2 American F-18 pilots launch an attack on the Japanese fleet. Sam and Joaquin immediately spring into action. Joaquin ejects one pilot from his jet, while Sam rescues the other. However, during the battle, Joaquin gets caught in an explosion and plummets into the ocean. Meanwhile, Ross struggles to control the escalating situation. His stress and rage start to take over, just as Stearns, anticipating this, contacts him, taunting him and waiting for him to lose control. Ruth quickly sends a medical team to retrieve Ross. At the same time, the Japanese pilots report back to Prime Minister Ozaki, confirming that Captain America saved them. With this assurance, the Japanese fleet retreats, and Ross manages to regain his composure. Later, Sam watches over Joaquin in the hospital, worrying about his condition. Unexpectedly, Bucky pays him a visit, offering a pep talk when Sam begins to doubt himself. During their conversation, Bucky also mentions that he is being considered for a seat in Congress. Elsewhere, Stearns tracks down Dunphy after learning about the gamma-infused pills. Using a specialized device, he stops Dunphy's heart, killing him instantly. Ross reaches out to Betty, suggesting they meet sometime to see the cherry blossoms, just like they used to. Shortly after, he steps out to address the press at a conference. Meanwhile, Stearns deliberately finds Sam, waiting to be arrested. However, before being taken in, he reveals the final stage of his revenge, exposing Ross as the monster he truly is. As Ross faces an onslaught of probing questions from reporters, his frustration and agitation grow. His Secret Service agents, including Taylor, attempt to escort him back into the White House, but it's too late. the gamma in his body activates and his rage takes over, transforming him into Red Hulk. The agents open fire, but their bullets have no effect. Sam flies in to stop him, leading to a massive battle that results in part of the White House being destroyed. Red Hulk also takes down 2 helicopters attempting to attack him. Although Sam lands a few solid hits, Red Hulk tears off his wings and severely damages his suit. Thinking fast, Sam lures him to the cherry blossom trees, where Ross used to visit with Betty, hoping to trigger a memory. Using his shield, Sam absorbs the brunt of Red Hulk's attack, creating a powerful shockwave that knocks them both back. Before Red Hulk can attack again, Sam speaks to him, reminding him of Betty. This moment of recognition forces Ross to regain control and revert to his human form. As authorities arrive, he surrenders. Following these events, Isaiah is fully exonerated and released from prison, reuniting with Sam. Meanwhile, the White House begins reconstruction. Sam later visits Ross at the raft, where he is now imprisoned. Ross also receives a visit from Betty. Sam then heads to the hospital to check on Joaquin, who expresses his admiration for Sam, admitting that he was his inspiration for becoming a hero. In post-credits scene, Sam visits Stearns at the raft, where the villain issues a chilling warning. He is foreseeing multiple probabilities, all leading to a grim future where threats from other worlds and universes will descend upon Earth. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.